Hi, I'm Carmen Geddes and welcome to TenSisters TV. Today we are talking about our TenSisters Tote. This is our fun tote bag that you can make in 4 different sizes with our easy piecing grid. And I just want to do a quick little step by step on this, talking about how easy this pattern works. Now the pattern is available on TenSisters.com in our shop. The pattern comes with, this is a 2-panel project, and so the pattern comes with 2 panels of the 1.5 inch finished, and the other 3 sizes are also available on TenSisters.com, and we have a locator map where you can locate your local shop that carries our products. So what's fun about this is that you can make this bag out of 4 different sizes. So check out our other TenSisters Tote videos where I show you the other sizes of the bags. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is, let's see, where do we put all these fun things? What I wanted to talk about is after you have sewn up, this is the outer bag. This is 2 panels of the 1.5 inch finished. And what you see here is the whole outer bag. So it is the sides, the bottom. And so that's a really fun thing when you are designing. In fact, this layout with the stars is available as a download in our shop in the patterns on TenSisters.com. So after this is sewn up as per directions, this becomes your pattern for your stabilizer, which can be this foam. This is kind of the foam batting. You could also use regular batting that you would use in a quilt, or I've also used just flannel. So it really comes down to how stable and structured do you want your bag to be. And so we actually have a little video talking about these 3 choices. And so after you have finished this, now you can cut all of these out separately. I'm going to lay them all out here because I've actually already cut them all out. But you're going to have your stabilizer laid out. You're going to have your fabric for your lining laid out. Pretend it's not all cut up perfectly. And then you're going to take your finished outer bag and lay that on top of your stabilizer and lining fabric, and you use this outer bag as your pattern to cut out the lining and the stabilizer. Now I will say, as you can see on the stabilizer, I usually cut it just a little bit bigger than the actual, because after we have cut all these pieces out, your next step is, if you choose to, is going to be quilting the outer bag. And so just as a very important note, when you are quilting your outer bag, you do not put the lining in there. We're not going to use, the lining is separate. The lining is not quilted into the bag. And so this is one of the reasons why I like to cut the stabilizer, whether it's the foam or the batting or the flannel, just a little bit bigger than my outer bag piece, because sometimes the quilting, it can shift a little bit, or it might shrink up just a little bit in the quilting. And one other thing I want to show you while we're here is, let's back up to when the outer bag is finished sewing. What I want you to notice is that this is 2 panels, but we do not put any squares in these 2. That's explained in the pattern. But what I like to do before I start cutting anything else out is I am going to match these up and make sure they are the same size. I match it up at the top, I match it up at the sides, I match down here at the notches, and you can even fold it over and just make sure that these side seams are the same length. This is kind of, I guess, what I would call blocking my quilt top. I do this when I'm making a quilt with easy piecing grid. Depending on the size of panels that you are using, I will block as I piece on the grid. That way, when I sew all the panels together, in this case it's just 2 panels, but when I sew the panels together, if I match these up as I go, then when I put everything together, it's all going to be nice and square, and it makes that last pressing before you quilt it so much easier. And I know I've got a nice square quilt top. So that is your tip for explaining how you're going to use this outer bag as your pattern for all your other pieces, your lining and your stabilizer. So I hope this helps explain that step, and please check out the other videos on our 10 Sisters Tote series, plus all our other free videos. We've got full classes, lots of quilting techniques, and so many fun videos on Easy Piecing Grid. Again, our website is TenSisters.com. Please check us out on Instagram at 10 Sisters Handicraft, and we'll see you next time on 10 Sisters TV.